Hi, this is Ken. This spiritual video is called What is the Spirit and What is Spirituality? On one of the rooms I was on in Facebook recently, a psychologist with other psychologists were talking about spirituality. It had to do with the mind body spirit connection. And their definition, which they agreed on, I found quite interesting. I'm going to read it. They asked, what is spirituality? Psychology does not endorse a specific religion or even a belief in God. Psychology endorses spirituality. This can be a religion, a higher power, nature, connecting with loved ones, a purpose in life, hobbies, a job, helping others, family, whatever gives your life meaning. The reason I took the time to read that is because that is the learned belief of what spirituality is. We learn all of those things from religion, what we might call a higher power or God, uh, that is a divine essence that is sitting somewhere or somewhere in the universe that directs all life. That is what we learn spirituality is. In reality, absolutely nothing in that description describes spirituality. Absolutely none of it. If that is what psychologists are calling spirituality, and that is their definition, and that is how they're using to help treat their patients are getting absolutely no benefit from it whatsoever. Though they may be able to treat them with certain medications if needed and with counseling, if they believe they are treating them spiritually, they are not. The definition I read is learned spirituality. We learn all of these things after we are born. Everything we learn after we are born and we believe is true is what I call the ego. What is spirituality? Within every life is an essence, a spirit guide, a soul, a piece of God. It represents our higher self. Every life is connected by this essence or spirit that is within each of us. The spirit represents unconditional love. It is giving love freely, selflessly to all others without any expectation whatsoever. That is the meaning of life. That is enlightenment when you understand what that is and you accept it. All of the things that I had read off have absolutely nothing to do with that. The spirit is separate. If we consider the ego as everything that we learn and believe to be true after we are born, and the spirit as the essence within every life form that represents unconditional love, our higher self, giving freely to all, and wanting the best for every life, they are two completely opposite forces within every life. As the ego gets stronger, the spirit becomes weaker in the respect that it's not heard. It's more ignored. If I were to talk to the psychologist who wrote this, she would probably get angry, get upset, would feel that I am 100% wrong and that she is right because her ego and what she learned, which was this, tells her so. The reality is this battle within each of us between the spirit and the ego goes on throughout our entire life. Depending on which happens to be stronger at the time will maybe depend on how well you're doing, whether you're having a good day or a bad day. If the spirit is stronger, you will feel more at peace. You will feel love. You will feel like the world is a worthwhile, good place to live in. If you feel more distressed or in stress or anxious or worried, that is the ego dominating. The problems with the world is that the world is an egocentric world. The great majority of people worry about themselves. They accept what they've learned in life, and by accepting it, they accept that these terrible things are going to happen to certain people. In my country, in the United States, there are multiple shootings of people dying all the time from guns, and the people in this country accept it. And they accept it simply because that's the way it's always been. There's nothing we can do to change people. All of that is wrong. The spirit is within. To awaken is when you start to understand there is something within me. There is something different. All that I learned, that entire definition of spirituality that psychologists read and wrote, all of that is just wrong. You start to question whether what you learned is really true. When you become enlightened, at that point, the spirit becomes more dominant than the ego. Though everything we learned in life is necessary, all of our socialization, all what we've learned, how we get along in the world, all of that is necessary in order to survive in the world. It no longer dictates our life. The spirit, which is within each life, now has control over our destiny. And by that, what it means is instead of worried what's best for myself, you start to be concerned about what's best for everyone. Instead of worrying about all the material things you can do and all the fun, exciting things you could have in life, the big house, the traveling, the going out to restaurants, all the friends, you now start to worry about the people who are homeless, who go without food. Spirituality is wanting to share everything in the world equally, all of our resources. The ego, or people with the definition that I read, they want what's best for them. They accept the wars. They don't like it, but they accept it. They accept the gun violence. They accept the people who are homeless on the streets as they walk by them, making believe that they don't exist. They accept the hunger around the world, which is completely unnecessary. We have the technology now to grow enough food for every person in the world. We don't because of greed, the greed of the few over the needs of the many. So, what is spirit and what is spirituality? Spirituality is sharing what is within each of us, our unconditional love with all others equally without worrying about what is best for us and being concerned what is best for everyone. The definition I read is a learned definition. It is an egoistic view of what the spirit and spirituality is. Not one bit of it was real. This is Ken with another spiritual video, but this one dealing with the difference of learned spirituality or the spirit, which is meaningless in any help given whatsoever, versus what spirituality truly is, which is completely separate from what we learn it is. Till next time.